simple greetings. I'm gonna keep this short tonight. I just want to bring folks up to speed on what's going on in my life um, as we come to the end of Pride Month. What a world! What a world! I just I got both my accounts are blocked at Facebook right now because of Zionists. I gotta just like avoid these people completely. They harass me, and then when I react to them, I get blocked. This time I got blocked for calling. I mean, like they come at me, insulting my mental health and insulting my intelligence when I'm quoting from like historical documents that they just refuse to believe are real. Um, and they'll harass me. I mean, this woman was following me around and post whoring me. And I just turned on her and said, "Look, just don't tag me anymore. You're harassing me. I'm reporting your harassment." I called her a propagandized Zionist dupe, and that's what got me busted. So I filed protests on both of them, because then I reported her comments, and they're like, "Oh no, they're fine." It's like she's dehumanizing me, which is like clearly outside of in violation of their community standards. But that don't matter because they're biased toward the corporate state, completely biased toward the corporate state. I mean, they're so bad. The conservatives bitch about them getting shut down, and it's like, man, anybody talking too solidly opposed to the conventional wisdom of the corporate state on either side of the bar is going to get blocked at Facebook. It's all about divide and brainwash, polarize everybody, fracture the population down into little factions of narcissistic led packs of psychopathic idiots, and especially in the LGBTQIA WXYZ shit. It's like, man, them alphabet people all hate themselves, hate each other. Then you got this whole like troop of like angry adult autistic assholes calling themselves either gender critical, race critical, whatever the fuck critical. Is all shame and blame game. The denial of your own self-loathing projected out on everybody else, as they're all wrong because you're right, even though you hate yourself for being so right. So the big news this weekend that I really wasn't like all that deep into because of personal problems I'll get into later after I read the big news this weekend. Here's the error message currently showing at kiwifarms.net. Hello! Someone is currently paying money to denial of service attack the forum. While the Kiwi Farms and everything on it is legal, denial of service attacks are a federal crime. Well, so is incitement, man. So is defamation and invasion of privacy by misappropriation and, encouraging somebody to commit suicide and all that shit. You may be looking for information on BYUU/near. Since I can define this error page, I will use it to relay some information. If you're a regular, I promise the site will be back up this week, probably sooner than later. A Twitter user published a Google Doc explicitly blaming the Kiwi Farms for harassing BYUU. No evidence of this harassment exists. BYUU had a 13-page thread on the forum, which ain't nothing, boy. Mine's over 800, and I've seen some that are like 1,200 pages long, or probably longer. I have to look and see what the longest thread is. Especially for a thread as old as BYUU. Last year, BYUU said in this thread directly that he was not affected by the thread in any way. You can read the archive here and here. The document claims that BYUU took his own life. No evidence of this exists. The person claiming to know he has died refused to elaborate or provide evidence. The last call with BYUU described in the accusation does not make sense. Consider that this person is supposedly a real-life friend of BYUU, when BYUU also claims he had no real-life friends, and consider that he did nothing for half an hour, but could remember the call well enough to describe an obscure French metal song playing in the background. This is a ridiculous story. It does not pass any level of scrutiny and is not told in a way that makes sense. BYUU has a history of accusing people of stalking and harassing him. He made a post on his forum, which has since been deleted, accusing a rival emulator developer named Square Pusher from RetroArch of doing the same. A copy of this post is here. And let's pause for a moment and take a step back and try to see this whole gaming community for what it is. Which is really hard to, I mean, what's going on? Their reality is like cartoons, anime, and hentai, and all this weird shit with strange anthropomorphic animals and weird sex acts, and it's their whole reality. And then they, I'm a rainbow hippie. Real Things has been online since 1985. The Rainbow Family has been online since 1989 that I know of. We're the indie music and arts underground, and have been straight along since before the public internet. We work and play together in real time about real things. We don't make up stories, and we certainly don't drag other people into the stories without their fucking consent. Enough rant. Back to Null's bullshit. In it, BYUU emailed me before posting his tweet chain. Oh, nobody knows who there is a claim that BYUU was doxxed, then harassed in real life. This is also false. Nobody knows who BYUU is, even after years. Nobody knows his last name. Nobody knows where he lives. Nobody knows where he works. It's completely anonymous, and even now it's not possible to do wellness check. Well, I found a company that connected to him. I sent a message to them asking them to confirm or deny whether this guy had suicided. BYUU emailed me before posting his tweet chain. You can read it here. In it, he attempted to extort me. That's EXTORT, not EXORT, Josh. BYUU claimed that if I did not delete all the information about him on the forum, he would kill himself and blame me. He offered me $120,000 cash. I saw this as a legally and morally dubious effort at best, entrapment at worst, so I declined. He also offered me his services, helping to write software for the Kiwi firms. I told him I would have to consult an attorney regardless. He did not even wait 24 hours after his first email before closing communications and decided to go through with his plan at 3 a.m. my time. In his emails to me, he promised a trusted friend would deliver a scan of his passport on Twitter within 5 hours of him killing himself as proof. 2 days later, we still do not have his passport scan or any evidence he has killed himself besides the testimony of a Twitter user citing an anonymous third party. Kiwi Farms is an entertainment site. It exists to talk about people. Maybe you, Josh, but there are people that are using that site to commit crimes. Okay? The idiots running my thread, they're criminals. You're going to go down with them if you're not careful. The site does not exist to punish people. That's why you made my life as miserable. That people have made my life as miserable as they possibly can. Now they're threatening to come with a camera crew to film this one idiot for beating me up for talking shit online. They totally misconstrue everything I say, inject their own fucking pedophilia, zoophilia, coprophilia, just unbelievable array of psychosexual disorders that people demonstrate. And this Sneasel character is into littles. You know, he likes to dominate women who imagine themselves to be infants, and he likes to wear diapers too. It's just all weird stuff, you know. I mean, hippies are strange, but we're not strange like that. Excuse me. In the 8 years we've been around, BYUU is the first person to name the Kiwi farms as a cause of suicide. The fuck he is. There's at least 12 suicides attributed to Kiwi farms, plus about eight shootings. There was somebody described a thrill killing they talked somebody into killing his sister. It's a bunch of fucking sick bastards with Schadenfreude dependence. You know, they get off on people's pain. His intentions are clear, but nothing else about this story is. If he's going to have to abandon the BYUU persona and just disappear anyways, why not pull this stunt? I will not be extorted. Josh. By Josh at jaw.sh with a bunch of fucking weird code. And then underneath it says, Kiwi Farms is a proud supporter of the state of Israel and the Jewish people. So naturally, I had to mail Josh, and where's it at? I sent back to him, Zionism is not Judaism. It's National Socialism for gullible Christians and Jews. It's the most harmful thing that has ever happened to the Jewish people. You say you won't be extorted, but you're libeling me and misappropriating my media. None of the statements, in fact, in the general thread intro about me are true, and there is a criminal incitement going on in the use of these facts. I'm a performance artist. I can play to hecklers easy enough, but provided the site owner is willing to pay me to do it. $50 a month is a fair ask to provide you with plenty of media your sycophantic feds will love to hate. I have the Hoffman Associates cold on several felonies, including computer intrusion, with a very solid connection to your organization. Thanks to Sneasel, Daisy May's false report to the APS, there's now active investigation into the 2 sites that will be escalated to the feds this week, with no promises. He's like, well, we can send it to them, but that doesn't mean they're going to do anything. Call it extortion if you like, but $50 a month will give you a much better return than defending yourself from a RICO investigation. License my act properly, and I won't come after Lawcall when I file on AMB. So is that extortion or just, I don't know. I don't care. I just really don't care. So Josh come back with I love Israel and the Jewish people, and didn't address my offer. You can't do both, Josh. There's nothing Jewish about the Zionist state. You also didn't respond to my offer. I'm not playing. Your farmers have escalated to direct threats. There will either be a prosecution mounted by the feds on their own, or it will be ordered when I sue the cops and feds for refusing to act and make a motion to order a RICO investigation. And that's where that's at. I don't. Your life is not mine, and I'm really sick and tired of you injecting your life into mine. Okay? That's where it's at. I'm not going to lower myself to you. Tom is a fragment of your ejaculation is Tom. Y'all are the pedophile dog fuckers. That's obvious. It's a fucking get out. Oh, but you admit, no, I don't admit I admit to what I admit to. You interpret it to be that. I ain't going into detail for them anymore because they just take the detail and misconstrue that. So fuck them. They're a bunch of dick twirling, chest thumping, chicken shit, poop fleeing, naked apes who are not long for this world. Seriously, we got this decade to clean up the act of industrialized man, or the quantum mechanics of the planet have already kicked in. Anybody who's in denial of the extreme climate disruption, that's just got their head up their ass. They haven't been in Washington this week, that's for sure. I'm watching Remembering Tucson group, and I've seen all these people from Arizona up in Washington, like, wow, this is fucked up. It's like 112 and then like 90% humidity, and that's like, you can't breathe. Your sweat sticks to you. Everything sticks to you. It's awful. and then there's like, flash flood, 1,000-year flood in Detroit. No, but no climate change. We only got this decade to clean up our acts. There's no technology known today that is going to stop the earth changes that are in process because of the disruption of the carbon cycle. We have totally disrupted the balance of nature. We've annihilated 2/3 of the flora and fauna, and we've modified 3/4 of the planet's surface. Planet, it's just going to fix itself, and nothing is going to miss the humans when they're gone, nothing at all. And I intend to enjoy life as long as I can, despite all of my trials and tribulations, which included this week. Sunday, I was out busking Saturday night. I came in early, but I was having trouble sleeping because my next door neighbor has my place infested with fleas because of her cats. And it's just been for the last 2 weeks. I thought it was an allergic thing, but then it's like, no, wait a minute, this is only happening when I'm getting to bed. I hope it's not bed bugs, but it definitely came from next door, along with the cat piss smell. I don't know if anybody else noticed it, but I'm really keeping myself a lot cleaner, my place a lot neater than I ever have. Um, I'm not engaging with idiots. I'm not letting them get me mad. I just won't. I don't think I am. I'm not that kind of person. I am intersex. I'm the most common intersex body variation that there is. I'm a trans feminine man. I'm male below the belt and female above it. Same thing with trans masculine women. We're the most common kind. About as rare as redheads. Time to stop stigmatizing us just because of the way we're born. We're not obligated to conform to your standards of masculinity or femininity. I'm me. I'm Tommy. This is me. I'm a unique being. I'm not a man. I'm not really a woman, but I prefer she/her because my male aspect's no fun. Anyone want to call me Tom or Sir or anything? I said, just try and pick a fight. I'm not going to rise to it anymore. Fuck you. Go chug bleach. Shit. Go play your video game. Quit dragging me into your fucking video game. So anyway, I get back from busking. I'm having trouble sleeping. I don't know when I finally got to sleep. I woke up around noon to see some woman creeping around my front door, bending down sunraising. And then when I went to look, there was a can of Mountain Dew sitting there. And I went about my business for the afternoon, and then around 5 or so, I wanted to go for a walk with my camera, and I looked, and it was gone. And I'm looking around some more, and my son's one was gone too. My next door neighbor has a registered sex offender staying with her who's a real creep. Everybody in the complex is like about the guy. The property manager's already told her that he's not welcome here, and she needs to clean up the cats. He's been out of the country though until the 1st. I don't lock my door. Well, I didn't up until yesterday. I don't lock. I'm old hippie. Hippies don't lock their doors. It's just like, well, as long as I'm living in Babylon, I better lock the doors. And that's what's up. So now I'm without my livelihood, with my cash tight, but not, I got between my credit account and my checking account, I have $100, and payday's Friday. So it's not that bad, except it's going to cost me at least $81 to rent a horn for the month. Well, I got to come up with. Well, I don't know. I don't know how much the insurance is going to cover, because my actual cost of what I lost was less than the deductible, but it's going to cost me more than $500 to replace them. So, I talked to the investigator today, and he said that'd be taken into consideration, and yada yada yada. So now I gotta, like I said, I'm gonna keep this short, under a half hour. I have to finish canceling all my, but I found out my wallet was gone too later today when I went to go to the store and looked in my purse and the wallet was gone. So I have all these cards I have to deal with. Took care of the bank right away, and I think I got the. Oh no, that's right. Fucking DMB couldn't match me to their database, so now I got to call them tomorrow. I haven't gotten the food stamps yet, and I got to do my insurance company and PayPal. And other than that, I'm working on selling stone. I got a couple of deals cooking right now. And God, my hands get so dirty so easy. I'm keeping my cleaner than I ever have. I need to be not a man. Everything man about me I have to like discard. And I've been doing that a little bit. And most people see me as female. Like I have some funny like Saturday night I'm heading for the bus stop, and there are two black guys walking down the street cutting up. I forget exactly what I said, or if I just smiled or something, I don't know. But they started rapping to me, and dude, I forget what he I think he read me as female first, then he decided I was male, and then he oh no, and they'll do that a lot, They'll say, they'll catch themselves and go in either direction. They see me as a man, and oh, sorry, or they'll see me as a woman. Oh, sorry. Uh, it's okay. A lot of trans people like really get bent out of shape, and upset over it, and my voice sounds male on the phone, and I just right up front, it's like I'm Tommy, I'm female, she, her, please. And most people are way cool. A lot of people apologize, and I'm like, no, I understand. I totally understand. I'm intersex, and I'm androgynous, and it's easy to read me either way. Anybody who spends any time with me has no trouble relating to me as female. A little crazy, a little wacky bits, but yeah, yeah. My cis girlfriends are crustier than me. Oh yeah, no. You should see some of the women that I know that are actually biological women who are like. I know one, the biker named Tomasa. She's hilarious. And I asked her one time, she talks about being a man in a woman's body and all this shit. And I'm like, well, why didn't you ever come, transition? She's like, she just points to her crotch and says, are you kidding? This thing's a weapon. I think with that, I'll try to close. Because, this is one of the things that these people, they grab on things that I said prior to coming out as evidence that I'm a trender, that I'm just faking it for the attention. Behind a beard, people thought I looked like Charles Manson. My eyes are scary to people behind a beard, but with no hair on my face, it's not scary anymore. Which makes a big difference. Boobs help too. Need to get rid of that belly though. I'm working on it. I dropped 7 pounds last month. Hopefully it'll stay off. I haven't been able to eat hardly because I've been getting overstressed and it's so freaking hot. Anyway, I've got another 5 minutes to kill. let's take a look and see if there's anything worth talking about. Kiwi's still down. Up. I sort of have. Okay, we have sort of. Yeah, I asked. I'd asked somebody about whether this guy had really killed himself, and there's no solid evidence, but I do have some service there. Facebook's pretty dead tonight. I finally got my gift certificate for Monterey Court that I won in the raffle at the Bluesbrook. And me and Ruth are going to go with a couple of her friends to Monterey Court May 11th for Sunday brunch. But Facebook's pretty dead. Supreme Court denied reviewing the case that Gavin Grimm won, so the lower court ruling stays intact. Gavin Grimm's the female to male high school student that sued for his right to use the bathrooms. The big story that they're trying to keep real quiet is the bodies that are being found at the boarding schools, the Crawford boarding schools. They just, the natives are all over that, and the human rights activists who've been like standing with the natives since Alcatraz are all over it. Deb Haaland just established a commission to investigate. They've already found over 1,000 bodies in about 5 or 6 schools, and there's over 100 of them. But don't let yourself get distracted from this other shit. All these bills that Republicans are filibustering to block from coming through, like the infrastructure bill and Equality Act and For the People bill and all this other happy shit that I don't really want to be reading Heather Cox Richardson this evening. Trevor Project. Transphobes say hormones and surgery don't make you a woman. Me, I agree. Trans women are women regardless of medical intervention. Transphobes, wait, what? We are what we are. It's not a self-identified thing. It's how we're born. I had to consciously work on suppressing innate feminine behavior on and off up until just about 10 years ago. Yeah, I'm not very feminine now, but that's because of 60 years of like conditioning my reflexes. And by the time I come out, I'm old and fat, got no teeth, got no hair. I just need to be me. I don't need to show the world. I don't need to do a Caitlyn Jenner on the world to convince them that I'm female. I didn't need that. I just needed to be myself. I needed to stop pretending. And I've successfully done that, and I've gained acceptance in a wonderful community of people all over the world. I call us ESOP, the Artists and Educators Saving Our Planet. We're all a bunch of old nerds and geeks and crazy hippies and fucking weird artists and revolutionary freaks. It's cool. We have each other. And go ahead, play your video games until the fucking Earth just eats you alive. The planet's gonna teach industrialized man why primitive people live the way they do. Got a Huey Newton quote here from Abraham Weizfeld via Walter Carlos. In Cuba, they had a revolution. They had a vanguard group that was a disciplined group. And they realized that the state won't disappear until imperialism is completely wiped out, structurally and also philosophically. Or the bourgeois thoughts won't be changed. Once imperialism is wiped out, they can have their communist state, and the state or territorial boundaries will disappear. And in his workers' world, that's a WWP thought. I've always seen it as just convincing the bourgeois to like lighten up on the hoarding of wealth and the misdirected technologies that are harming the balance of nature. Let them stay rich. I don't give a fuck. Just be fair about the distribution of the wealth and make sure that the technologies are reconciled to the natural world. I'm cool. We don't need any war. If everybody's like, kind and considerate of each other, there's plenty of resources to go around. It's just that there's like 1/1,000,000% of the people who convince the rest of us that they're in charge and they're going to keep us at war. This is like 1,500 years of this. Non-fucking stop between the imperialist Islamists and the imperialist Judeo-Christians. Fucking no. And they're recruiting the Hindus against the Muslims and the Buddhists against the Muslims in India and Myanmar. They've been propagandizing everybody through Hollywood for the last 100 years to hate on Arabs. Just wake up, folks, you're being played. So I said I was going to keep it to a half hour. It's a half hour, and thanks for listening. And I could use some. I should be able to get past this calamity pretty easily. It's only a couple $100 to replace the one, but any donations would be appreciated. So hit the virtual tip jars at CashApp or PayPal. And thanks for watching. Happy day. Bye.